All right, y'all, what is going on? Back with another video. Hopefully you guys are having a fantastic day. It's a little gloomy out here, but it's not too bad. It could be worse. But with that being said, it's all good. I want to appreciate and thank everybody who has been watching the channel. You guys are absolutely awesome. And new subscribers, you guys are great. The content will be picking up because preseason for the Falcons is about to start. And we're going to talk about that in this video. So if this is the first time here, welcome. All the links are down in the description. You want to check out all my other content, including my gaming channel. That'll be pretty cool. Let's go ahead and get into this. Micheal Penix and Kirk Cousins will not be playing in the upcoming preseason game against the Lions. And I think Easton Stick and I can't remember the other guy, but I'm just gonna be leaning on Easton Stick for a reason. I'll talk about that in a second. And I don't think this is a bad thing. Now, do I agree with someone that may say that Micheal Penix needs to play at least one series? Yeah, maybe two. And, you know, I can see where the logic behind that is. He's still, still trying to get his feet wet as far as being a full-time starter. One series, two series wouldn't hurt. But with that being said, I don't think he needs it. I think Micheal Penix pretty much proven himself to be at least a fairly okay starting quarterback. He hasn't put enough work to say like, oh yeah, he's legit. He is the bona fide, starter, which, by default he is. But I don't think he put enough work in to say like, okay, that he is arrived. So with that being said, it's cool that he does not play, but I would like for him to get at least one series, but it's all good. Nevertheless, it's a good thing to have him at QB1. As far as Kirk Cousins go, he's just there as far as I'm concerned. He's a nice backup to have. I don't see him being QB1 anymore. I will say that Micheal Penix is QB1, but like I said, I don't think he's like the he's kind of like in between. It's like, yes, he's QB1, but he hasn't arrived yet. I don't know if that makes sense. But when it comes to Kirk Cousins, yeah, it is like, all right, you're just there. You're just here. It doesn't matter. Now, when it comes to Easton Stick, I want him to get as much reps as possible. Yeah, put one of our guys that in for one series and pretty much let Easton Stick probably play with the entire game. Easton Stick is proven to be an NFL quarterback, and that's pretty much it. Yeah, I'm not even saying that he's a QB1, 2, or 3. It's just, yeah, he belongs in the NFL. So let him get as many reps as possible so him could possibly move up to QB2, because at some point Kirk Cousins is going to have to go. Whether it be this year, next year, whatever the case may be, his age and contract is just too much to bear. And I think he's only viable to be tolerated contract-wise for this year. After next year, he's $10 million on a contract. I mean, you can get rid of him if you want to and have Easton Stick be that number 2 guy. So that's why I say I think Easton Stick should be that, that guy to be, the number 2 and getting as many reps as possible so he can get into that other zone in that other position. The other guy, I can't remember his name. If you know his name, put his links down there. Put his name down in the description. You guys will know. But I just feel like now it is, no, I don't think that Micheal Penix has to play, but it would be nice for him to play at least one series. And I think that it is what it is. But I feel that also that the coach may want to just have him on the sideline. You don't want to risk injury. You want him to be ready to go week 1, which is totally understandable because, I mean, this is your future. You want him to be that bona fide QB1 or that solidified QB1 that there's no doubt, And I'm not saying that there's a doubt right now. It's just his body of work is still too small for him to say that, okay, he is the guy. You have him as the guy because of the potential that's there. And with that being said, you don't want to really risk it. But it like I said, it's kind of like in between. You know that he's the guy, even though the body of work isn't there. So you don't want to anoint him that right now. You just want to give him the opportunity. And giving him the opportunity does, it kind of put you in a position that you may want to sit him out because you don't want to risk you don't want to risk an injury. I mean, you got to think about it. Last year, we thought, for all intents and purposes, Braylon Trice was going to be like that guy that's coming off the edge, even though he was a third-round pick. I mean, you could really think that was a steal because he was probably slated to go second or maybe even first in some cases. But with him going down, you don't want to risk that for your quarterback. So I do get it. I do get it. But at the end of the day, it's like, can he get one? You know, but also you got to also think about it as well. This is not a Desmond Ridder situation where he has to get the reps. He doesn't. I don't think he needs the reps. You know, I mean, Michael Penix has shown that he can do whatever you need him to do in the football game. We saw it in the last few games last season, but you know, you still want to be like, hey, do he get one series? Yeah, I mean, either way is not a wrong answer either way. Does he get a series or not? It doesn't really matter. As far as Kirk Cousins go, yeah, you're just a guy hanging around. I mean, it'd be cool if we need you for 4 games or 3 or 4 games. That's cool, but I don't see that being long term. Now, this is going beyond the scope of this conversation, but if something was to happen to Michael Penix, you do got a solid backup with Kirk Cousins where he could go an entire season long as he doesn't get hurt and don't lie about it, or don't tell anybody about it, but you know what I mean. It's a good problem to have for now. At the end of the day, I think that you could probably still swing it for him next year at $10 million, but I would try to probably get off that contract and probably just stick with Easton Stick or another backup and just have Michael Penix take the reins, because after a whole nother year, you know, that is your bona fide QB1 for sure then, because he has the experience and he's that guy. You know, he has the experience as well as the potential to be here for another like 10, 11 years. So it does work out. But as far as Easton Stick goes, hey, give him all the reps needed. I'm not against that. You got 3 preseason games. I would like Easton to play maybe 80% of the time throughout the preseason. You can give the 4th string guy some run or whatever the case may be, but at the bare minimum, 80% of the time, I would like to see Easton Stick out there. Go ahead and give him as many reps as possible, because he's probably not going to be playing at all this year. But if you was to trade Kirk Cousins or whatever the case may be, somebody goes down, he will have enough reps to be, you know, okay to come in for a game or 2. And that's what you would want. So let him get as many reps as possible. He's been around the block for a minute. He's still young. And that's where the focus would be, in my opinion. You already know what you got with Kirk Cousins. You already know what you got with Michael Penix. But you just don't want to anoint, or you just don't want to put him on the back. You're kind of in the middle with Michael. I'm about to say Michael Turner. Michael Penix. But you just know where you're at in between with him. But you know with Easton Stick, hey, look, you're auditioning for QB2, believe it or not, you know, because at some point, Kirk Cousins is going to be up out of here, you know, so that's just my take on it. Y'all let me know what y'all think. I don't think it's a bad thing, but I would like to see him run a series, but hey, in my opinion, it is what it is, and it's the Easton Stick show. That guy needs to get about 80% of the reps. So y'all let me know what y'all think. Y'all think I'm crazy? I don't know what I'm talking about. You want Michael Penix to play? Is Michael Penix the bona fide QB1 yet? I think he's like probably 70% there. I don't know if he's there yet because of the limited time that he's played, but hey, he's going to be QB1 this year because of the potential and how far he can go. All right, y'all let me know what y'all think. I'm going to get up out of here. Y'all take it easy. Like, share, and subscribe. I'm out. Peace.